Jack Nelson's coming back, and understandably, Wisconsin fans don't know what to think about it. Wisconsin fans don't know what to think about it. Now, I will be the first one to admit that over the last year, I have ragged on Jack a lot. I may have made no bones about it that I think he was overrated as a prospect. And maybe that was a lot of frustration in me coming out about the play that he had and the hope I had for this offense to succeed. And the hype that we were given, his NFL status, did not live up to the production on the football field. That being said, he's the best tackle we have on the roster. Why? Because if there was somebody better, they would have played. And I think we've seen that at every other position where the player that the coaching staff feels the best, who is the best fit for that position, played. And for all the love that we have for Nolan Rucci and for the guys lower down on the depth chart, they couldn't beat him out, regardless of the play we see on the field. He was the best left tackle we had on the roster. And with him coming back, the reason why the coaching staff is open to him coming back is they feel he'd still be the best left tackle on the roster, theoretically. Now, that's not to say that he's going to come back and they might move him to right tackle, might move him to right guard. Who knows? But there is a place for him on this roster and in the lineup, because he would not be coming back to Wisconsin if he didn't feel so. He would have transferred out. Somebody would want to pick him up, regardless of what we feel about him. He has a lot of things that he needs to clean up in his game. He has some, footwork issues that have been there all season that he needs to tighten up. And I don't think anybody would disagree with that. And that's stuff that he can work on at Wisconsin. The problem with this season for him has been that the flaws in his game have been exposed. And the place you don't want to work on those flaws is in an NFL training camp. And there are some who have said, and have said in my mentions so far, Wisconsin is not the place to work on your flaws. I would fundamentally disagree. And if you would think that, I would point out that's what this program has been built on. We have taken players of lesser ability on the recruiting rankings, so to speak, and developed them into NFL players. And just because Jack Nelson is a more highly touted player who had a bad year and has some flaws, doesn't mean that he can't stick around and work on those flaws in an environment that he's comfortable with. And he can provide a benefit to the team because, again, he's the best tackle we have on the roster currently. I think it also shows that in a year of transition with a new staff, as third offensive line coach, it shows a lot about Jack as a person, that he's willing to stick it out and build on his mistakes and get better and feel like he has something left to prove in Madison. And I give him credit for that. Again, he is the subject of a lot of negativity this season, and the fact that he's willing to come back and work on it, get better, help the team win, and he believes in the program says a lot about him as a person. He needs to get better as a player, and that's something we definitely need to see this coming season, but I don't think he'd be coming back if he didn't feel like he did. So as much as some people are going to think it's a negative that Jack Nelson's coming back, see it as we get an experienced body who knows the position, who's played multiple positions in the past here, played guard, played left tackle. He might slide in somewhere else, but he is the type of player that, from a leadership standpoint going into this next season, I think he's going to be key. So, like it or lump it, Jack Nelson is still our left tackle. And until somebody beats him for the position, that's very key. As much as we like Nolan Rucci, as much as we like the freshmen coming in, they have to win the job. And until they win the job, the king stays at the top of the mountain. And we'll see if he does it going into 2024.